Senator Ted Cruz, a Republican on the Foreign Affairs Committee, joins us now. And one of the things that I wanted to get your take on was, when you're from Texas, you're senator from Texas, and when President Biden went to Texas yesterday, he had just announced a ban on Russian oil. He went and did an important event there about the burn pits from Iraq, but he didn't meet with anybody in Texas about domestic energy.
You know, I got to say, this administration's policy when it comes to energy is completely incoherent. President Biden started literally his first day in office basically declaring war on domestic energy production. He shut down the Keystone Pipeline on the first day in office, killed 11,000 jobs, 8,000 union jobs with a stroke of a pen. He halted all new leasing on federal lands, both onshore and offshore, and he stopped development in Anwar, a small region of Alaska that is incredibly rich in oil reserves. He shut them all down. His agencies have been waging war on domestic production, and we've seen domestic production dropping and dropping and dropping. And bizarrely enough, Biden combines that with being the best thing that ever happened to Vladimir Putin, and the best thing that ever happened to Iran, and the best thing that ever happened to Venezuela. Last week, the Biden administration sent their officials to Venezuela saying they want to buy oil from Nicolas Maduro. They're in Vienna trying to negotiate a deal that they want to buy oil from the Ayatollah in Iran. And Biden last year waived sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 natural gas pipeline, which is what caused the invasion of Ukraine. Their policy just makes no sense.
Yesterday, the president said defending freedom is going to cost. All right, okay, I get it. How about get creative? How about using the microphone to find new ways and creativity? I'm looking at that story about the MiGs coming out of Poland. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not a military guy, but I don't know why you got to go to Ramstein. All you got to do is put them on a flatbed truck and drive them across the border at nighttime.
Well,
that would put him in the battlefield.
Yeah, even simpler than that. Look, there are two tools we have to assist Ukraine in winning. And one of them is providing offensive military weaponry so the Ukrainians can defend themselves. And the other is energy, unleashing American development to take away Russia's customers, to dry up the revenue stream that's funding the war. This weekend, I was on a video conference call with President Zelensky from Ukraine, and what President Zelensky said, he said a couple of things. He said, number one, if Biden last year had sanctioned Nord Stream 2, which I fought all year trying to force Biden to do, Zelensky said Russia would not have invaded if Biden had sanctioned Nord Stream 2. That is a big deal because 44 Democrats just a few weeks ago voted with Putin, with Russia, against sanctions, which is what caused this invasion. But secondly, Zelensky said what they need more than anything is control of the air. The Russians right now have air dominance, and they need fighter jets. Now, Poland has these MiGs. Poland was more than happy to offer these MiGs to the Ukrainians. And here's where the Biden administration screwed it up. The Biden administration doesn't want fighter jets to go to Ukraine. They don't believe Ukraine can win, and they're resigned. They have a defeatist attitude. They believe Russia will win. And so what the Biden administration was doing is they were saying, gosh, Poland is a sovereign country. It's up to Poland whether or not they give these MiGs. And so they were blaming Poland for not sending the MiGs. Poland last night called the Biden administration's bluffs and said, here are the MiGs. Give them to the Ukrainians, great with us. Here's what should happen. The Ukrainian pilots, we should not have U.S. pilots in combat with Russia, but the Ukrainian pilots can come pick up the MiGs. They were going to do it in Poland. They should come do it and fly the MiGs back. Now, if they engage in combat with the Russians, if Ukrainians and Russians are engaged in combat, that's war. But the Biden administration can't decide if they think there's a prayer Ukraine can win or not, and so they're dragging their feet on the jet aircraft that Ukraine desperately needs.
Senator, thank you for that. We were going to have a chance to talk about something. Maybe we could ask our team to pull it up here. This is just one other thing in terms of when you said that it's a gift to Putin, and that is like on the minerals front. This is the Wall Street Journal today, that a nickel for your Ukraine thoughts, that the chaos in the metal market is a warning to the climate lobby, because one of the issues is we get a lot of nickel from Russia in order to build the batteries that they want for the electric vehicles. Final thought on that?
Look, that's exactly right. And when it comes to rare earth minerals, when it comes to critical minerals, Russia and China both have a stranglehold on it. And the Biden administration is not willing to green light the development of critical minerals in the United States. They're opposed to mining. If you look at the electric vehicles, Biden yesterday says, gosh, if you don't like high gas prices, buy an electric car. Well, that's great if you've got the money to do it, but a lot of working folks don't have that extra cash. But not only that, many of the electric cars right now are made with batteries made either using Russian equipment and minerals or made in China using slave labor. Last year, I put a vote on the floor of the Senate that said the United States government should not purchase any goods manufactured using slave labor in Chinese concentration camps. Dana, I'm sorry to say, every single Democrat except one voted against it because this administration is perfectly happy being a customer to the Chinese concentration camps and using slave labor to meet their political agenda.
And we'll see if that changes this year. A lot has changed in just 13 days since the war began. Senator, thank you so much.